Now it's time to see how we can create certain CRUD operations. And CRUD stands for create, read, update, and delete. And those are the main operations that we're going to operate on our database. So I'm going to go down here. And the first one is going to be to add a contact to our database. So I'll type here fun add contact. It's going to have a parameter contact of type contact. Put curly braces, and here I will type val db equals, and I will type this dot, and I will use this writable database. So this stands for get writable database. And what this is going to do is going to create an instance of the database, which is going to allow us to call functions like insert, update, delete. This is what this line of code is basically doing. Now, down here we need to create something called content values, and a content value is simply a data abstraction that we can use to add key value pairs like maps, for example. So I will type here val values equals to content values, then I will type here values dot put, and here you need to pass the key, so I'll type constants dot, and then I'm gonna choose key underscore name, and I'll type here contact dot name. So this is the key, and this is the actual value, contact dot name. Then I'll type values dot put constants dot key underscore phone number equals contact dot phone number. Next, I will type, we need to insert this into a row. So to insert this into a row, let's put a comment here, insert into, so insert to row. And I'll type db dot insert. Here we need to specify the table, constants dot table name, so the name of the table. Here we need to pass null column. Here we can pass null, and now here I will pass values. So this is gonna add now our contact inside our database. And very important, you need to close the database. I'll type here db dot close. Now down here I will create another function, and this is gonna get the contact. So I'll type here fun get contact. We're gonna have an ID, so I'll type here ID of type int. So we're gonna get the contact based on the ID, and it's gonna return a contact. Curly braces. This I'll type again val db equals, and now I will type here this dot readable database, because now we're gonna read to the database. So that is gonna give us access to all the read functions that are disponible for this DB, that are provided by this that are provided by the database. Then I will go down here and I will type val cursor, and a cursor is a class that allows us to go through or iterate through our database data. And I will type db.query. Now we need to pass the table on which you want to perform the query, constants.table name. I'm gonna use that. Then I'm gonna type array of. So now we're gonna type what data you want to get back. So I'm gonna type constants dot key ID, comma, constants dot key name, and constants dot key phone number. Then I'm gonna put here a comma, and I'm gonna go to the next line. And you can push this also on the next line. And here I will type constants dot key ID, and then I will put plus, I'm gonna put equals, question mark, and I'm gonna put a comma, and then I will type array of, and here I will type ID. Then I will put here null, null, and null, and also null. And we have a problem here because we need to put ID dot toString here. Alright, so now our data, so let's talk about what we have here. We have a query on our table, on our contacts table. We want to get from that table the ID, the name, and the phone number, and we want to get the data for this particular ID that is passed here as a parameter. So this ID that is passed here, for this ID you want to get this data that we have above. So this is what this thing is doing. What we need to do next is I'm gonna type here cursor question mark dot led, so I'm gonna check for null, and I'm gonna type it dot move to first, and that is gonna move the cursor to the first. And here I will type val contact equals, well, actually let me do it like this, return contact, and here we need to pass now the values and the data that we get it back, and the data is inside the cursor, so I need to use the cursor in order to get the data. So I'm gonna type here cursor dot get string. I'm gonna put 0, and I'm gonna put dot to int. So we have a problem. So we have a problem here. So let's delete this code. Let's type return contact, and here I will type cursor dot get string as 0 dot to int. Then I will put a comma. I'll type cursor dot get string at 1. Another comma. Cursor dot get string, and I'm gonna pass here 2. Now everything works fine. Now this is gonna return our contact, which again we query for this specific table, we query for those specific columns, we get the data, we get the data for this particular contact which has this ID passed here as an argument, and then we check to see if it says remove let call, it's redundant. Anyway, we check to see if this is not null, we move to first if it's not null, and then we return a new contact, so return the contact back. So I'm gonna end this video here and see you in the next video.